What happens when a notorious figure is acquitted of organized crime charges but remains behind bars? Meet José Ángel Casarrubias Salgado, better known as El Mochomo. In a surprising turn of events, El Mochomo was acquitted of organized crime charges by a special district judge in the accusatory penal system of the Federal Justice Center in the state of Mexico. This verdict, which came about on the 3rd of October, 2023, was followed by an immediate release order. Reports indicate that as of the 4th of October, 2023, El Mochomo had walked out of the Federal Center for Social Readaptation No. 1, Altiplano. An interesting twist, isn't it? But this is where things get even more fascinating. But despite this acquittal, El Mochomo wasn't going to taste freedom just yet. The plot thickens as the FGR appeals against El Mochomo's acquittal. When the news of José Ángel Casarrubias Salgado's, or El Mochomo's, acquittal hit the stands, the Federal Prosecutor's Office, or FGR, was quick to challenge the decision. They presented an appeal against this unexpected twist of events, hoping to overturn the ruling. However, the legal machinery had already been set in motion. The Second Collegiate Court of Appeal in the state of Mexico notified that El Mochomo had already been freed from the confines of the Federal Social Reintegration Center, No. 1 Altiplano. This notification came just a day after the acquittal verdict was issued on the 4th of October 2023. Now you might be wondering, didn't the FGR's appeal have any effect? Well, here's the thing. The FGR's challenge, while valid, did not halt the execution of the release. According to the appellate collegiate, the filing of an appeal does not suspend the execution of the contested judicial resolution. So, despite the FGR's efforts to keep El Mochomo behind bars, he was already tasting freedom. But don't get too comfortable with this thought. Remember, we're dealing with the intricacies of the Mexican judicial system, where things are rarely as straightforward as they seem. But here's where things get even more intriguing. How can a man be both free and imprisoned at the same time? This is the paradox that surrounds José Ángel Casarrubias Salgado, better known as El Mochomo. Despite an official acquittal for organized crime, he is far from a free man. He remains confined within prison walls, but not for the charges you might expect. The reality of El Mochomo's freedom is a complex web of legalities. He is not behind bars for organized crime, but for a separate case entirely. This case dates back to the year 2020, a year that holds a dark shadow for many in Mexico. It was the year 43 students from Ayotzinapa disappeared, a case that remains unsolved and continues to haunt the nation. Casarrubias Salgado is implicated in this disappearance. Despite the acquittal that should have seen him walk free in October of 2023, he remains under lock and key. His freedom, it seems, was momentary, a fleeting brush with the outside world before being pulled back into the depths of the judicial system. This contradiction between official information and reality raises many questions. It highlights the intricate and interconnected nature of judicial cases in Mexico. It shows us that an acquittal on one charge does not necessarily lead to total freedom. So, El Mochomo's legal situation remains a complex puzzle. A puzzle that intertwines with the lives of the 43 missing students, their families, and a nation still searching for answers. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture of El Mochomo's case. In a surprising turn of events, José Ángel Casarrubias Salgado, or El Mochomo, was acquitted of organized crime charges. However, his freedom was short-lived as he remains incarcerated in relation to the disappearance of the 43 Ayotzinapa students. Despite the Federal Prosecutor's Office's appeal against this decision, the appellate court confirmed that El Mochomo was no longer in prison from October 4th, 2023. Yet, federal sources confirmed that despite his acquittal, he remains in prison due to the forced disappearance case from 2020. This case underscores the complexity and interconnectedness of legal proceedings in Mexico, where acquittal from one charge does not necessarily equate to total freedom. The legal situation surrounding El Mochomo remains intricate, as he is still under custody due to another pending case. As uncertainty looms over El Mochomo's fate, the truth behind the disappearance of the 43 Ayotzinapa students remains a gripping national and international enigma.